So some more things I wanted to go through is about, like, I've talked recently a lot about like manifestation. One of the really important things is to think about what your focus is. What is it you focus your time on, your time thinking about, the people you spend your time with? One of these, not one, excuse me, these are all important, and something to consider is, especially when it comes to like the opinions of other people, is this person who's sharing their opinion, whether they've openly shared it or you're having a discussion or whatever the context is, would you live the life by choice of the person who's saying it? If the answer is no, and it doesn't really matter, it it might feel like it sort of strikes a bit of a chord with you, or it feels uncomfortable. That person was simply a catalyst to show you that you've got to face some things about yourself. That's all it is. It's not really about the other person. It's more, if you're bothered by what they said, it's more about you. It's more about, you've got to look at, what about that bugged me? What about that am I not living up to? These are the questions we all have to ask ourselves if we want to improve and become the best version of ourselves that we can be. It's really important. More important than what I can stress. But that's why at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like, you can't really worry about what somebody else thinks or what somebody else is doing. They have to live their life. They have to decide whether they're going to work towards what they want to work towards, or if they're not. That's not your problem. And that's not going to help you to focus on it. If your focus is on what other people are doing or not doing, how that affects you, why it affects you. Again, when we talk about astrology, this can be interesting because I find Pisces or Pisces placements is very much like this. I would say Pisces, Libra, Cancer to a certain extent. I know there's some other ones, but I think those are the major ones. I think even Virgo as well. These are all the signs that are related to the other, right? Or the collective. Now, this is their gift, okay? But in low vibration, or if this person who has a lot of these signs is solely focused on what, either what they're not achieving or what other people aren't achieving. Again, it depends on the circumstance, depends on where you have these signs and how you see it. But if you have a sign that's more, oh, I forgot Aquarius as well. I knew there was another one. All these signs are very based on either the collective on the whole, so that's specifically going to be Pisces and Aquarius in particular. But Libra is very focused on relationships and the other. Cancer can also be focused on that because it's considered the mother. All of these signs can get caught up in what others are doing. Now, if you are yourself at a place where you've worked a lot on yourself and you're quite happy with what you've achieved and who you've become, it comes out differently, right? It comes out in, you want to help other people. You want to be the catalyst of change. Again, whatever it is. If we're talking about Aquarius, this is revolutionary. This is about pushing the status quo of things. Things are outdated and old and kind of crusty and not working anymore. This is a very future-oriented sign. So it's very much about seeing the trends long before they're happening, right? If we're talking about Pisces, Pisces feels the pain of the world. And so, yes, that can be the challenging part, but on the highest vibration, this is the sign that is able to, yes, feel the pain, but be very, very optimistic, right? And empowering. This sign can see others in a way that others can't see themselves. This is a tremendous gift when used properly. Not judging other people, not what are they doing that I'm not doing, and now I'm being hard on myself, and now I'm going to be hard on, right? And I just remembered Virgo was the other one I mentioned. Virgo is the healer. So Virgo is very based on taking broken systems, broken things, broken people, and then the ability of detail and pattern recognition and seeing what doesn't work and improving those systems and even being critical, right? Again, in the high vibration, this sign sees things other people don't see. So it has the ability to make the system work. seamlessly. This is a gift. But if they aren't in the place where they want to be, then it's just critical. And it makes them feel bad, and anybody else who has to deal with them feel bad. It's not good, right? It's not good. Cancer is the mother. So it's about creating a safe space for other people, right? Being that true mother bear protector situation. Again, in low vibration, it comes across as nagging. It's kind of annoying, right? So all the signs have their challenging parts and they have their positives. Again, it's all about how they're used. And when it comes to helping improve systems for the collective, these signs are really good at that. I just remembered I also meant Libra. Libra has the ability to recognize, like I said, the situations between relationships and interaction. This sign's also really, really good when it comes to political matters and anything to do with what's fair, right? What's fair for as many people as possible. This is a mediator type of sign. It's very good in, like I said, political and legal frameworks because it remains impartial. At the end of the day, this is a sign that it's the scales. So it doesn't have, I guess, even though it's very kind and whatever, it doesn't really allow emotions to come in and mess things up, right? It's very much about, okay, what is the best situation for as many people as possible? Because let's figure out what that is and let's go that way, right? So all of these signs have their specific gifts, and all of the signs do, but I'm just saying these ones in particular, I feel like a lot of what they are and what they do is focused outside of themselves on a group of people, whatever it is. And again, it depends when it comes to astrology, it depends on where you have these signs. Where do you have them in your chart? Because those qualities will directly affect and relate to that area of you as a person or that part of your life or whatever. So it gives clues to these things. Again, in a reading, it's probably a better way to go because I can look at it for you and then discuss the things that you kind of lean into and what you can do to make the most of it. All of these signs have their challenges that can become torturous. And, you can sit there and torture yourself over it. And that's the whole point. Their purpose is to help the collective. So there's nothing you can do about it. You either can work with it or you can let it make your life a living hell. I know what I'd choose. So if you need help with that, let me know. But it makes all the difference to understand these things because they do create an influence. And if you want to have the best life you can for yourself, for your little family dynamic, whatever, and then again, human beings do better once they've secured that avenue and they're no longer in like a survival mind state or whatever, and there's no fear and there's no sort of weird drivers. You can then focus on your purpose and what you're here to give back to, because we all have one of those specific lines. And again, everybody is different. Everybody has their little specialty things. So again, that could be in a life purpose situation or whatever. But at the end of the day, nobody else can decide that for you. You are going to have little tips and pointers, little clues here and there. In terms of readings, I do tend to talk about this because it helps give you a direction forward. But one of the best things to do is to pay attention to what it is that you're doing that is leading you down the right direction, that makes you feel good, makes you feel like you're achieving something, whatever, and the things that don't. And that's why I often put it into the category of what's self-destructive and what's self-protective. And a lot of people ignore these things. And the thing that's interesting is it normally happens as children. You're taught by your parents or your caregivers because there isn't a huge emphasis on understanding the child's specific needs. So often they bypass them and they bypass your boundaries. One way or another, this is what happens in life in general, at school, at home with your parents, your siblings, whatever. People constantly push each other's boundaries. And like I said, it isn't some evil thing. It's more, they're lessons. And you can look at it that way, or you can look at it in like a victim mentality, which of course won't help you. You can look at it as, okay, this annoyed me. this was in the way, this created problems, this, that, and the other. And you'll start to see a pattern if you unpack it. Again, if you need help with this, let me know. But what ends up happening then is you seek out these little things that I guess provided comfort at one point or help you escape for a while or whatever the situation is. And a lot of times these are self-destructive things and they lead you the wrong direction. It might seem like at the time it's helpful, but in the long run it's not. And it just makes you feel bad one way or another, whether it's physically or in your mind or whatever. It's not going to be good. And it takes you away from your purest form and what direction you're headed in. So it's really important. Everybody has their own path, their own things they need to be doing. And there's definitely some specific key indicators which can really help you down the right way or the wrong. I don't know if I want to say wrong, but maybe just not in keeping with your purpose, I guess would probably be a better way to put it. So you can't worry so much, I think, when it comes to this whole helping other people thing. I think you first have to be able to help yourself. If you can help yourself and you can put yourself in a good standing, a good situation, and you're able to head down the right direction for you, I think that you then are in the best interest to help others. But again, they have to be willing to help themselves. It has to be something they're prepared to do. And at the end of the day, it's not about you knowing what's best for everyone. It doesn't work like that. It's more about creating that supportive environment so that they feel safe enough to do that themselves. And that's the thing. And everybody has their purpose. So again, I'm using this to be very, very general because I don't know exactly what your purpose is. I don't know exactly what your hang-ups are. I'm just trying to cover different bases. And I know that there are some general things that will help people and some general ones that won't. So I hope that gave some interesting things to think about. And I'll see you next time.